Okay, so recording is started. How many of you guys actually tried out the use case and then at least went into the app, tried something out, went through the interface? I know Suga is already working on some apps, but Sudhakar, what about you?
Yeah, I did. I did actually. So I did create a couple of screens, added controls to it in a gallery. Tried to
Okay.
use the gallery control, and then yeah, just tried out some basics. That's it.
So any questions or anything that you want to touch base or any experience of using Canvas app?
No, I think I'm good for now. I just tried the basic things, putting a control, dragging. So I think I'm good for now.
Uh,
Maybe I'll
Vik
try deeper.
okay. Vikram, what about you?
No, I haven't.
So no means you haven't had chance to look create an app or you don't have any questions.
I don't have any question, and I also didn't had any chance to.
Okay. Yeah. So these sessions are useful when you actually go and try it out, right? Otherwise, it's you're listening and then if you're not trying it out, then you might forget what you're trying to do, right? Uh, there are a lot of hidden things in Canvas apps. So if you are not using it, then you might not remember when you're actually trying to build something. And why is this not loading? Ah, there you go. There's something coming up. I should probably close some apps. Okay. So here we are. This is what we did last time. And as you can see, we had a lot of labels. We didn't rename any of them. We left it as is. So I have already sent you guys the naming conventions that you should be using. So label is LBL, and this is like a standard when you create. And I believe everyone might have worked with Windows Form. So if you're working with Windows Form, then you have to give naming conventions to your controls and stuff like that. So, and I'm a really particular about naming conventions. So screen is screen main, and then in. So what we're going to look today is how to group and ungroup, right? So for example, say I want to group all these labels together. So let's first rename this. So label LBL, then phone number. Okay. So now I want to group this. So what I do is I hold my shift key and I select. So I can select multiple things at one time. And then I click on this ellipsis again and then say group, which creates a group. Now you can even do a grouping on your, um, you can give a name to your group. So I can say group labels. Now the interesting part of grouping is you get certain properties on groups as well. Now, why do we get certain properties on the group? The reason why you get certain properties on the group is these are all the common properties that are available, and that's why it is shown on the group. So now I'm adding all the labels. So all the label properties will be available on the group. If I say add an image, then the common properties between image and label will be shown on the group. And then if I change any of this property, so say if I change the color, okay, so I change the color, not this, the font color to red. What would happen is it would change the font color on each and every component inside that group. See, it changed to all. So what it's doing is it's doing a cascading effect. So when you change anything, and if you now go to label, you'll see that the color is changed over here. Same goes over here. So that's how it's not only aligning your tree view in or grouping your tree view in a nice organized way, but also it helps you to change the properties for all your components. It also helps you to move your components. So now you can move your group. Oh, sorry. And it also helps you, the group also helps you to reorder your component or align your component. So what I mean by reorder is, as you might have seen, sometimes let's take an example. So insert, and again a rectangle, because we love rectangle in Canvas app. So I added this rectangle over here. Right. Now rectangle is added over here, and remember I showed you in the first session that you can use
Send to
this.
send to back. Yeah. Okay.
Right, yeah, reorder, and then you can do send to back, right? But what we're going to do is let's put it send to back, and then let's bring it little up, bring forward, bring forward. This is the thing that I don't like about Canvas app. You cannot actually drag drop. It would have been such nicer to have drag drop. Front. All right. Now you're seeing that I had to do like couple of time, and it was still stuck here. I'll show you in a bit. So what happens is now your rectangle is over here. Now it becomes so easy. You just click on this and then say reorder and then bring forward. So it just takes everything up, the entire group. But now if you're on rectangle and then if you want to do reorder and then you say bring forward, see, it doesn't actually take the rectangle on top. It's still over here. But you see the full name gets hidden. So that's kind of a trick. Okay. Now see, if I do one more time, the phone number would be hidden. Bring forward. Phone number goes away. So what it's doing is it's actually climbing up, but it's not showing in the tree view because your group label is on the top. So sometimes that can be confusing, that you're still doing this reorder, bring to forward, reorder, bring to forward, but nothing is happening. So that could be a little tricky. So you just have to be like cautious that where you are, and then so now there are 4 components and you have to do 4 times to really make it bring forward. Okay, so this is kind of a trick. Let's get rid of that rectangle. I don't like it. Okay, now you can also ungroup elements. So to ungroup it, you just click on this group and then say ungroup. Pretty easy, right? Ungroup, as the name suggests, it ungroups all the elements into individual pieces. Now, what if I have created a group, but then I later on I thought, oh, I should add more elements to the group. Right? So say I want to add all these labels into the group. Now there's a trick to it. Now, whenever you are trying to bring this extra components and then into the same group, what you have to do is you have to first copy the group name, then select all the labels, with the group and then right click it and then again click on group. What it would do is it would add this label. It would not create group under group. Okay. It's not going to create one group and then another group under that group, because um, you cannot have subgroups created in Canvas apps. So what happens is these labels would also appear under this group. If I say group, now why I copied the name, because what it does is it resets the name to group 2 or group 3 or group 4. It resets the name. That's why I copied the name, so that I can give the name again. And then when you expand it, you'll see that all the labels are at the same position. Okay. And then within this, the nice thing of grouping elements is also that, say you added a component in here, but then you wanted this component at the bottom of the group. So if you do reorder and then send to back, you can actually do send to back. You don't have to click send backward. You can do send to back. It's not gonna push this component outside the group and then push it somewhere over here. It's gonna push that component below the end of the group components. Okay. Any
Does group
questions?
have previous does group have previously added a property like
Sorry.
like we added color for the labels on the group level previously?
Yeah. Right. Good question.
Is
So yeah. So as I said, it cascades down. So anything that is changed after the fact, you're adding it to the group, then it doesn't apply. It's not like, it's not looking at, oh, what parent has and then let's apply same to the parent. It's a one-time cascading effect. So say for example in CRM, you have an account and then you have a cascading relationship, or you wrote a code to cascade something to contacts. Say you change the city and then that city should cascade to all your contacts. Now when you create a new contact, then that rule might not apply, because that's an event that is getting triggered on the account, not on the contact, right? So it's a one-time cascading effect that happens on the group label. So in this label, this all these labels that we just added to the group would still have their color set to black, like automatic or whatever it is. So it would still be the default color. Okay.
okay.
Questions?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So this is all about groups and ungrouping. If we don't have any questions, then we can move over to other topics. Yeah. So nice things to nice some of the things that we should be considering is responsive design, right? So think about that you're building an app and then you're embedding that app in CRM. Now in CRM, every screen size would have different interface, and then it would, so let's, I don't have it embedded, but let's take an example that you have this app embedded in CRM. So when you run this, and if it's not using the entire space, you would see something of this color. Like sometimes these colors are very bad. Like you would see a blue color or a dark blue color, or sometimes you'll see a black color over here, which is not really appealing. And there is no way we can control those colors. So we have to make sure that our design is responsive. So there are two things that I've learned so far. Is one thing is you have to make your app responsive. That's the first thing. And the second thing is you can, when you embed it into CRM, and if you're not using custom um, custom controls and you're embedding it as an iframe, then you can write a code to make sure, and then use CSS properties, and CSS properties has some nice responsive designs where, if the screen size is 1300, then what should be the size of the iframe, something of that kind. I can send you the code. I'm working on that code to how to make the app responsive when embedding it in CRM. So once the code is ready, I'll send it across. But it should be a common code, and then we can reuse it on multiple projects. That's the idea. So that is the second thing. But now, because we're talking about Canvas app, how can we make the app responsive, right? So to make app responsive is, remember how I had shown that rectangle and then using the app dot width, app dot height, same concept, but then let's get rid of this. We'll add this back, or maybe we'll just keep this. So let's add a rectangle. And then let's add this group inside this rectangle. Change the color of the rectangle to be something of a gray. Okay. I see how designing becomes so easy if I'm grouping things up. Now, to the rectangle, what we would do is how we, and let's do this. Let's create two rectangles. Let's move these components in here. How easy it becomes designing the app, right? Okay. I'm going to add one more rectangle. It's all about rectangles. Okay, so one more rectangle. Now this rectangle will span till end. The idea is to have this entire group added in this rectangle. Okay, let's give this rectangle a little border, and also this rectangle border. The border should be dark gray. Okay, this looks good. Now what I want is, it's already responsive. How come? Oh no, I'm selecting the group, that's why. Okay, so now what I want is, I want my rectangle, this rectangle. So this rectangle should have the width as app dot width, and then the height would be app dot height. Okay, so now I run it. So now it's covering the width and it's covering the height. So everything is grayed out. I can even say that this rectangle X is app. Now when I say app, sorry, no, not app, screen detail dot X. maybe 0. Yeah, never mind. There's some properties that I'm not able to find right now. Okay, so why is it doing that? Okay, never mind. I know it's going beyond the. That's why rectangle height would be. Okay, let me figure this out. Let me take this. All right, so what is happening is, let me show you what's happening. So you do minus, 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 and now you select this rectangle. You see the screen is over here, right over here. Okay. And then if I choose my rectangle, the rectangle is actually going beyond it. So rectangle is going beyond it. So that's why what's happening is whenever I try to drag anything, it's taking it to the top position, which I don't want. So what to make that fix, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do minus 500. Right? And then now I can move my group all together. Now it's moving correctly. And then I can change my, and then now I can see how much is my X. So on the group, what is my X? The X is set to 0, but Y is set to 68, which means from top, there's a space of 68. It's all mathematics. Okay. So what I could do is when I give my rectangle my height, I'm going to say minus 68. So now it's not expanding beyond the app size. Okay, it's staying within the app. Yeah. Now, when I expand or collapse my app, what I want is if there's a space over here, then now I can increase this. If there's a space over here, then this rectangle will stay as is. But if the space decreases, then this rectangle should come over here. Okay. So now if we play this, it's all good. Now, once we expand, remove it, right? And then make it a little smaller, make it a little smaller. And the app is shrinking, but see this is not moving and then coming down and then expanding itself so that it doesn't realign. CRM realigns, you know that, right? If you are um, narrowing it down, then it just goes and realigns itself, and then it just populates the data underneath each other. So that's the idea of this app. Okay. So to do that, we would like to see how much is this rectangle. This rectangle is using the width of 600. Let's do 600. Yeah. And then this is again should be of 600. Okay. Now how much space we want from here? Let's say we want 5 pixel from here and 5 pixel from here. So 600 plus 5 here and 5 there means 610, right? So if my width of this main rectangle is less than 610, then I have to change the X of this rectangle. Okay, so let's rename this, otherwise it won't. Rectangle main, then this is rectangle right and rectangle left. So if my main rectangle's width is less than 610, then what I want is I want my right rectangle X to change from 639 and it should be equal to rectangle left x, which is 14. That what would happen then? It would just come below this rectangle left. Let's try it. Okay. So formula is going to be of rectangle left. My position for x would be if rectangle main dot width is less than 610, then the x for my right rectangle should be rectangle left dot x. Okay. Else what it should be whatever it was. 639, or it should be 639. Okay. Now it's not moving the other components. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at that later on. Let's just concentrate on the rectangle first. Okay. So let's play this. It's looking well and good. Oh, we forgot to do one thing. So to make it go according to the responsiveness, we have to do scale to fit. And why is it not doing that? It did work this morning. Am I missing some setting? Hold on. I think I'm missing some setting. Yeah, this is all messed up. Yeah, this should be off. And it's less than 610 rectangle main. Let's see. So how do you debug this? I'll also show you how you debug these things. So what you do is you add a label, and everything is through label. Okay. And then you see, okay, label app dot width ampersand app dot height. Then I want
Rectangle, you get rectangle dot width and rectangle dot height.
yes, rectangle main dot width. And this was not supposed to happen though. It worked in the morning when I was testing this. So when you reduce it, see the width is not actually changing at all. The width is staying the same. This is what I'm missing one setting. What setting am I missing? Maybe it was the app design. Let me check. No. Yeah, this is not working for some reason. I was able to do this in the morning. So I'm gonna skip this and then we can look at that this tomorrow again. I'll try to see what's wrong with this. What setting am I missing? I'm missing maybe one setting which I don't recall right now. App screen, screen detail. Yeah, screen detail is also not moving. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. I'll let you guys know what's wrong with this. Okay, so this was actually main thing that I was gonna show today. So let's move on to something else. Um, this is left. Today's topic is supposed to be. Sorry, this was supposed to work. So now I'm.
Yeah, no, see, so you are kind of like giving a number, right, for the width and everything. Uh,
Uh, no, so what happens is this screen size and screen details and app height and width, they change. They change based on where it is loaded, which is
yeah,
not changing in this respect. So basically what you're doing is you're trying to um so I'll show you the other way
so
around. So
no, no, so show the properties of that. So select the rectangle.
I'll show you the other way. So let's take an example of slider. Okay, so this slider has a value. It's not showing up here, but it has a value. Okay, default is 0. And then what you do is based on the slider. So instead of this rectangle, right, that we used, we can use rectangle width is getting changed, right? So rectangle width, main width.
No, I mean, I was just searching and the they put like max of app dot width. They use like max and stuff on the properties to make it
Oh,
responsive.
yeah, yeah, I think so. That's what I was missing. So see this, based on the slider, it's actually changing the value.
Okay.
So that's how you make it responsive. But max height, you said, right? Max width and height is on the app. Yeah, see this one, but this is different. Max width and max height.
Now, similarly, for the rectangle, how have you set that property?
So so main rectangle is just straightforward. It's set to main rectangle is using the width of the app.
So you're okay. So position 068xy. So it's just inheriting from the app.
Yeah, inheriting from the app. Yes. That's how you make
Yeah,
it responsive. So you take the
yeah,
app's width and then see, okay, now app's width is greater than this, or you know how you do css. In
yeah.
css also you see, like, if it is greater than 1300, then some other style should get applied. If it is less than 1300, then you can apply some other stylings to the properties. So
We
similar idea is used here as well.
we put in percentages there, but
Well, yeah, percentages are not no more no longer used in
oh,
HTML5 and CSS. So it's all based on pixels, but then when you define your properties, if you have looked at Bootstrap files, Bootstraps will have screen sizes in it. So it will consider what screen size you are working on, and then it will consider the width. So width is say 1300 pixel, then it will give you a different style than if you're working on a 900 pixel monitor.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's same concept is used over here as well. I'll figure this out. I'll show you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just try and yeah, see.
Yeah, there should be a post as well on the Twitter that I had subscribed to. Or maybe I liked it. I'll send you the post as well. Yeah, I don't want to search it now. So yeah, let's look at something else. Um, so advanced tools is monitoring experimental. Okay, so this is by default. This does not gets activated. You have to explicitly come here and execute it once. Okay, what it helps is it helps you to debug the application. Now this would not work if you are actually running the application. When I mean running the application is when you go to Power Apps and then you click on this. This is the play, right? This is the execution of the app. When you're executing the app, the other screen won't capture anything. Oops. Here it won't capture anything. So you see here I'm doing a lot of stuff. Right? I open this and this opens up an app. I go back. So I'm doing some activities over here, but then that activities are not captured over here. But if I am in this app and if I'm doing anything, like if I hold a alt key, or maybe, I just let me just execute this. I go back. Why is this not going back? Is there an error? So I select this, I select this. Now open this app. This should come up in a while. Come on. Why is it not running? This always happens when you're demoing it. Let me open it one more time. Okay, let's execute. And nothing over there. And why is this not working? Then test. And the properties are not coming up. The data source is getting refreshed. Hmm. So this actually shows you the responsiveness. So it shows you date, time, shows you duration, category, operation, and it shows you what property it invoked, what was the response, like response time, it and it gives you the data as well. So it's easier to debug and then see where you're hitting your performances. So if it's taking too much time for the data to be retrieved, then you can check what all things are happening over here and then try to debug the and then check what the uh, uh, response times were for those data calls and then try to improve on that. So it's very helpful when you're using working with large number of data sets. But for some reason it's not working over here. Maybe something has not connected. So this is actually a cloud service. So it what it does is, because this is running in sandbox, the data is running on this on their server. So they're just grabbing the data and then showing you over here. But for some reason it's not working. Maybe I'll have to create a ticket or something. Another thing is have you gone through AI Builder? No, right? So another thing is AI builders, and the most nice feature about this is using the business card reader. So what you could do with the business card reader is, I'm gonna copy these fields again. And then here I'm gonna change this, and then I'm gonna say business card reader dot, and then this would be my name. Business card reader dot my phone number, business phone. So there's one issue with this business card reader. It does not detect address as of today. City. But let's see if they have improved it, because they keep on changing every day. Postal code. Okay, let's run this. Now, if you're using this on a phone, then it uses a camera to capture the business card. If you're not using on a phone, if you're using it on a tablet or a laptop, then when you click on business card, it gives you a browse functionality. And now you can go and scan your business card. And I have to remember where I saved it. Keep forgetting things where I store it. Let me just upload one quick business card.
Yeah. You want me to scan and send it? I have it in my hand.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, sure. Uh,
Okay. Okay, it should be. Okay, send the email.
Yeah, I got mine as well. So
Mm.
okay, okay. So now it's processing the business card. There you go. It's process the image, and it just took that image, identify the full name, phone number. Oh, now it also recognizes the address. This was not happening till 2 weeks back. And then it would also recognize your fax. Sometimes it gets confused between fax and phone, and this is all based on AI. So now, because it has this my entire address, I was not expecting it to populate any address. So address line 1.
No, it doesn't have the entire address, right? It just has the city and state.
No, because I didn't populate it. See, now it shows.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and it didn't populate the country because the country doesn't exist. I should actually use state. Address. Oh, there's full address also now. That's nice. They changed a lot. There you go. So you got the full address. This is a very, very nice feature to have if you like, say if you want to impress someone, then this is a very nice feature to impress someone. And the nice thing about this business card is you can embed this in CRM forms as well. So I'm not sure how many of you have used it, but in CRM you can actually add business cards now, business card readers. It can also be added on a quick create form as well as on the main form, and it works in the similar fashion. And then because it's a custom control, you can actually tie your fields to that to the output of that business card reader. Okay. Then the second one is AI form processor and then object detector. So to use AI form processor and object detector, what you have to do is you have to go here in the AI builder, and then you have to go to build. Okay, everything is going through make.powerapps.com, and then here you have form processing, object detection, some predictions and text classifications. So when you go to form processing, so what it says is if you're using form processing, then you will need at least 5 documents of the same layout. And then you can see actually you can get some examples from here. So create it. Okay, and then now just for you to practice, right? You can click on this get sample document, and then it will give you a zip file of all the sample data. So now you can see, okay, you want to test this, so you download this zip file. Yeah. Okay, and then you come back here, and then you say add documents. Now I've already downloaded it, so I'm just gonna use the same thing, or maybe I'll just extract it again. Okay. So what it has is, I'll show you how it looks like. So you have this AI Builder lab. In this AI Builder lab, you have AI lab data. So object detection is one of the model, and then text classification. And then if you go back, you have scripts, and then in this you have binary classification. Like these are what it does. Okay, so in form processing, if you open this up, so it tells you in details what you how you can go about it. So it gives you an exercise. You can go through this exercise. You can upload the documents. Once you have uploaded the documents, what you have to do. It's a very nice guide. So we are going to take images. And then when you go in that images, you have form processing invoices, and then you have two options. You have test and you have train. Whenever you have a model, AI model will have two options. Like first is that you train your model, and then second is you test your model. Right. So in the train, you will have 5 documents. You copy all those documents and then add it over here, right? And then say upload. So now there's been an issue with the upload. Why? Let's do one at a time. Hmm. There's some issue with that. Okay, so now the documents have been uploaded. Then you say analyze. Okay. And then similar in the similar fashion you have to do for your object detection and text classification as well. The examples are more than sufficient, and then if you want you can add your own data in it, like a negative test cases, and then see if it really detects or not. So like take any document that you have handy, take a snapshot, upload it, and then see if it really works or not. So what it did is it's analyze the documents. Now you have to select the form, and then what it will do is it will detect all these fields for you. So now it detected, okay, this is the from, this is my bill to, this is my invoice number, my date, my due dates, and all those stuff, right? If you want, you can actually change the fields. So you can say, okay, all fields, I don't want to, no, I want to change my shipping. So shipping is here. I want to change my shipping, and then you can actually uh, delete. There was option out. Yeah. um Shipping, there is the option of, yeah, selected fields, right? So you have this all fields, and then you're saying, okay, these are my selected fields. So you'll say, okay, this is correct, then this is my total field is selected, and my bill to is selected, and my from is selected. Okay. Yeah, so these are all my selected fields. I have selected 4 fields, and then I'll say, okay, done. I should have selected invoice number as well, and then you say next. And then now here your selected fields, right? And then now where you want to upload your data source. So you can select the the device that you are going to upload, but for now we are just going to train it. So this is where it's training. Now go to details page. So it trained itself. These are the selected fields, how you want your model to be used. The, you can use it in Power Apps. So that's what we are trying to do here, right? So first we'll do a test. So drag drop. I already had the test folder, so I'm just gonna drag drop my file, and it's gonna select my from us those five selected fields. So it's gonna detect those five selected fields only. So it selected my from, selected my to, and my shipping and my total amounts. And then that's how you can do your testing. And then you can actually use this in Power Apps. So that's what we're going to look at. So going back to our Power Apps, let's add a new screen. And then go to AI Builder and then Form Processor. Okay, so now it should show up. Where did it should show our model? Oh, because we have not published it. So Power Apps would only show you the um, models that have been published. So we have to publish this model. Okay, now refresh. You should see a model over here. Okay, and again, same concept. So you can have those labels again copied over here again. We had 5 fields, but we'll only copy the 4 fields. Same concept again. Instead of business card reader, what we will use now? Any guesses? Form processor.
Okay.
Dot. And then now, because you had 5 fields selected, so it will give you those 5 fields over here. Form content dot fields dot, and then you will have those 5 fields. Now if you had 8 fields, then it will show you the 8 fields. It's not like a static list. That list is based on the model that you're publishing. Okay, then here you can have, just copy this, build to shipping, and then total. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, click on analyze, which will again bring up the browser. I can go to that location. Now it will analyze the data and then populate the data over here. Don't worry about the labels, those are wrong. But you can see that it identified the from field and populated the from. Let's expand this a bit. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So your form processing is done. So your from field, to field, your shipping and your total comes over here. Cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about all the scenarios that you had, like how do you read a PDF? Now you can read a PDF through Power Apps or even through flows. You can use this model in the flow. So, and then you can actually trigger a flow from HTTP. So say for example, you wanted to you know, run a PDF reader. And then initially what we used to do, we used to write a C sharp code where we used to read the entire PDF, parse that PDF using some Telerex PDF reader or some third party PDF reader libraries to read the PDF, right? Now we don't have to do that. We can just use these models to read our PDFs. Okay. Any questions?
Oh, I think yeah, this is good. I remember like writing a lot. So once to is there something like something like PDF generator? So this is reading a document that you upload and using it, right? So can you also generate a PDF from
Uh,
Power Apps?
s- you cannot, like, they don't have out of the box, but if you're using OneDrive or SharePoint, I think so SharePoint and OneDrive has an action to create a PDF. Probably OneDrive has it. So what you do is you upload the file to OneDrive. Once the file is uploaded to OneDrive, then when you are reading the file from OneDrive, the OneDrive has action in Microsoft Flow to export it as a PDF.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I've read that article somewhere. I don't remember exactly who wrote it, but I can find it for you if you want.
No, no, no hurry at all. No, I was just thinking. I wrote like a lot of code once to just like on a click of a button, get the data and export it in a PDF report.
Right. Yeah.
So I was thinking if there is anything quick that's in Power Apps to do that easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Well, I wanted to really show that responsive design, but that didn't work out. So we'll cover that tomorrow, and then also some of the things that we will be covering tomorrow is how to show shadow effects, how to do lot of UI components, like how to change the UI, and then like just you think from the web browser perspective, how can we do certain things. So I would really like for you guys to ask questions and then ask things like, okay, how do we design this, how do we design that. So anything that comes into your mind from like a app perspective or a web perspective, if you have any questions like on designing things, then let me know, right? And then we can go through and then try to design that tomorrow in tomorrow's session. Okay.
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 Yep. Thank you guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, Danish,
Yeah.
so that video link, right? You sent me the AK. I got it in the
y-
AK.
yeah, I'll add your Gmail account.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Vikram and Suga, same goes for you. If you have not shared your Gmail account, then share your Gmail account so that I can add it to add you guys as well.
It's there, right?
Uh, yeah, you already have my email.
Oh,
And
okay. Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Talk tomorrow, guys. Then. Bye.
thanks. Bye.